Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketu Ganadyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvataha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopasanteye Yasya Dviradavaktraadhyaha Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Vigdhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Akrishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishnadvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvabhuta Hiteratam Vedabhyabhaskaram Bande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Jannadyasya Yataha Anvayat Yitaratascha Arteshu Abhignaha Sparat Tere Brahma Hridayaha Adikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayaha Tejovari Mrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatritri Sargo Mrisha Dhamya Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochidha Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atravaktu Sivadam Tapatrayo Murnam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hridi Avaridhyatehe Atra Kritivihi Satrushivihi Satkshanat Nikama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukhamukat Amritat Dravasam Yutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muraho Rasikaha Bhavi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace we came up to Slokam number 5, Adhyayam 30, Skandam number 3. So we will continue. Take up with Slokam 6 now. Now the next 5 slokams, hopefully, which we will cover today, 6 through 10, it very precisely and in a very blunt, forthright manner describes what a person like me is doing. We can decide whether it applies to you. Number 6 says, endowed with a healthy body, family, wealth, and good connections in society, the man with deeply attached to them, with his heart deeply attached to them, he thinks himself to be fortunate and happy. That is slokam number 6. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasu Dravina Bandhushu Nirudha Moola Hridaya Atmanam Bahu Manyate. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasu Dravina Bandhushu Nirudha Moola Hridaya Atmanam Bahu Manyate. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhushu Nirudha Moola Hridaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Atma Jaya Suta Gara Pasu Dravina Bandhushu. Atma, one's own body. Jaya, Patni, wife. Suta, children. Gara is Graham, which is house. Pasu, cows and various animals and pets. Yeah, in this case it is cows. Dravinam, wealth. Bandhushu, relatives. Bandhushu, in all this, the shu is important. Okay, the Sanskrit thing, it means in. So in one's body, one's wife, one's children, one's house, or the ownership of pasus, and one's wealth, and the various relatives. Nirudha Moola Hridaya. Nirudha, deeply ingrained. The root of a tree, a plant goes very deep into the ground, like that. Nirudha Moolam, with the mind. Hridayam, his mind is completely rooted in that. Atmanam Bahumanyate, Atmanam, itself, oneself. Bahumanyate, aha, I have achieved. This is Kritartha. Kritartha means one I have achieved. I'm so happy. I've achieved it. Right? That is what Manyate, he thinks. Attached to one's house, one's wife, one's wealth, one's relatives, and one's own body. Completely attached to it. Niruda Moolam. The Moolam is completely gone way deep it. And he thinks himself to be very satisfied. Bahu Manyate. Atma Jaya Sudha Kara Pasu Dravina Bandushu Niruda Mula Hridaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Now Slokam number 7. San Dakhyamana Sarvanga Yesham Udvahanadhina Karoti Aviratam Mudaha Duritani Turasayaha. San Dakhyamana Sarvanga Yesham Udvahanadhina Karoti Aviratam Mudaha Duritani Turasayaha. San Dakhyamana Sarvanga Yesham Udvahanadhina Karoti Aviratam Mudho Duritani Durasayaha. Yesham, all these people, all these items, things, house, how much insurance and all we take for our house, just as an example I'm saying, all the things that we have, how much do we have to do to take care of them? That is what he means. Yesham, all these, Udvahanadhina. In order to protect them, in order to protect all these, wife, children, the house, the wealth, and the various relatives, in order to protect all them, Udvahanadhina, Udvahana Adhina. Udvahana means to protect and maintain and all that, to protect them. Adhina means with a tremendous sense of responsibility. I'm anxious about, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that, worried, and the worry and anxiety gives me various mental sufferings. So that is all adhina is included in that. In order to protect them, because taking care of something or some object or somebody is a huge responsibility, right? Once, I'll share a small anecdote with you. Once, Swami used to materialize many things for different people, whatever, that he thought was most beneficial for them. But in my interview room, but it is always inanimate object. It could be like a gold chain or a ring or vibhuti or whatever it was he was doing. And so one person asked him, Swami, how come you're always, materializing only all these inanimate things? Why not something that's got life in it? So very small, Swami with a very nice, beautiful smile that one must be blessed to see those, and because this is really divine. And so he put his hand on the floor and slowly lifted his palm up, palm on the floor, and then lifted his palm up and up, and there came a beautiful baby monkey with jumping up and down, completely alive. And Swami took the monkey, kept it on its lap, and was petting it, caressing it, all the while talking to all the others, giving them teachings and advice and solace. And that's what Bhagavan does all the time. There's nothing that he does for himself. Then, after playing with this monkey for some time, and so everybody was wonderstruck at this. First time they're seeing a lively thing being created, even though you and I have been created by the same palm, divine palm, we don't realize it. So then Swami turned gave the monkey to that person who asked that question. The person had it. And after some time, he returned it to Swami. Swami said, why? Because to take care of this, It's a huge responsibility, Swami. Yes, I can carry this with me, but I have to take care of it. And then Swami said, that's the reason I do not materialize things that are alive. Because taking care of something is a huge responsibility. Even in our own case, we have a small child at home. How much responsibility and anxiety is there? How much worry is there? Or taking care of our parents, or wife, or husband, or children. Just imagine. So this is what this Udvahana Adina means. Udvahana means protecting, maintaining, taking care. Adina, all the sufferings and the anxieties and worries that come with it. Now, even if you have expensive ornaments, for example, diamond necklace or gold, you put it in a safety deposit box. But if you keep it in your house, you're always worried, isn't it? So, or the money that whatever people have accumulated, there is a fear of protecting. Oh my God, we have to protect that. We don't want to lose it. So it's like this. All these things attached to all this, okay, Udvahana Adina is worried, anxious about protecting all this. Because of that, Samdahyamana Sarvanga. Because of that, what happens to our health, what happens to our mental attitude is always under heat. The heat is not only temperature heat, it's also mental anxiety, mental worry, isn't it? So that affects our physical health, mental health, because I have to protect this, I have to take care of this, all this. And that's one thing. Durasayaha, because of the Durasayaha, it's very, asa means, desire, right? But Durasayaha means evil minded. Wherever basically selfishness oriented, we can put it that way. Because anything that is selfish is basically evil. Evil in the sense, it is non-beneficial to one's own self. The more selfish I am, the more I move away from Bhagavan, from my own self, from my own sense of peace and love, isn't it? So because of my attachment to all these and anxiety to protect all these, so my selfishness is also getting multiplied in leaps and bounds. Buddha. Buddha means a person who is a fool. That is me, because I don't use my buddhi, vivekam. All these are temporary. What does it matter? I should focus my mind only on Bhagavan and develop attachment to him. Instead of that, I'm attaching to all these temporary things. I must attach myself to selfless love. But I don't do that. Because of that, I'm a modha. I'm a foolish person. With that thing, avirakam, without break, continuously. My God, just think, your own life, my own life. What do we do? Right? How much time I really spend with Bhagavan? Completely aviratam, I'm worried only about all these things that I possess. Because of that, duritani karoti. Duritani, all kinds of sinful activities I do. Mentally, verbally, physical actions. Sinful meaning, again, duritani meaning things that are selfish bound. Please remember, okay? Where there is no selfishness, there is no papa. Where there is selfishness, there is only papa. Okay? So that is what the man does, is what the slokam says. San dakhyamana sarvanga yesham udvahana adhinam karoti aviratam mudho turitani durasayah. Now slokam 8 and 9, let's take it together. Akshiptatma indriyaha. Akshiptatma indriyaha. Srinam asatinam cha mayaya raho rachitaya alapaihi sisunam kalabhashinam griheshu kutadharveshu dukkatantreshu atantritaha. Atantritaha comes and there aviratam comes. Both are very interesting adjectives. Okay, there are good. So atantritaha kurvan dukkha pratikaram Sukhavate manyate grahi. akshipta atma indriyaha strinam asatinam cha mayaya raho rachitaya lapaihi sisunam kalabhashinam vrijeshu kutadharmeshu dukkatantreshu atantritah kurvan dukkapratīkāram sukhavat manyate grihi living in the household, manyate he thinks, sukhavat that he is happy, even though. And how does it become happy? We'll see. Even though we all think we are happy, sitting in a big house, driving a big car, whatever else it may be, I think. But am I really? So manyate is very important. Okay. So this is Slokam 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Okay, we'll take it together. Again, let me read the Slokam again. Akshiptatmendriyaha strinam asatinam cha mayaya raho rachitaya alapaihi sisunam kalabhashinam griheshu kutadharmeshu dukkatantreshu atantritah kurvan dukkapratīkāram sukhavat manyate grihi asatinam strinam. Now, asatinam striyan, asatinam means basically prostitutes. Okay, asatinam stri means basically prostitutes, or people who sell their bodies, or people who actually also involved in infidelity, in married life, when they go after other women. Other women could be married also, doesn't matter. Point is, they become asatinam stri at that time. So that is what it is. Asatinam strinam. Now, rahaha means how to say, secretly, okay, clandestinely, rachitaya alapaihi, okay, rachitaya. So, rachita means very interesting, attracted, and alapana is not only singing, alapana also means we were talking. So what happens, people who are involved in infidelity or people who go after the profession of prostitution and engage in that, they go in a clandestine only, they do it. Okay, that is rahaha. And rachitaha alapaihi, they get attracted by these sweet talks and all that takes place there. And that all happens because of maya, okay? Which means maya does not only mean that I'm ignorant of my own true self, but I'm also ignorant of dharmic activity and acting against the dictates of my own conscience, right? All this, so maya. So these people do that. And number one, attracted basically to women, okay, and doing things that are adharmic. Keep it that way. Then kalabhashinam sisunam alapaihi cha. Kalabhashinam means, sisunam means babies and children. And how do the children speak? They speak so innocently, so sweetly they speak, isn't it? They have no agenda, nothing. They are so arjavam, as Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, straightforward. And who's not attracted by a child's talk? So attracted it is. So that is kalabhashinam sisunam alapaihi, the beautiful, sweet words spoken by children, by both these, by women, these women that we talked about, and also by the sweet talk of the children, by that man. What happens to him? Akshipta atma indriyaha. With both of these, or either of these, as the case may be, he's mesmerized. He's attracted. His mind is attracted. and his various sense organs, they're all attracted to it, isn't it? So when I hear a small baby speak or make the first sound or sing a song or whatever, I'm attracted to it. So my mind is attracted to it. Or in the case of other people who go after other women and all that, they're also attracted to that. This is what this grihasthan, this householder, doing these kind of things. Now comes kuta dharmeshu. See, involving in falsehood, put it simply speaking, in leading a life of lies, utter falsehood. Okay, anybody who's involved in infidelity, that kind of activity, obviously he's going to put a double face. And even dealing with children and stuff like that, I'm really involved in the falsehood of my own selfishness. And leading like this grihasthan, dukkha tantreshu. Dukkha means miseries and suffering. Tantram is a method of involving in this. So by doing either of these, I'm spreading only misery and suffering. And in griheshu, in the various houses, in the houses that all these men, they live like this. So in my own house, griheshu, I do these kind of things, of course. I don't go and do infidelity, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about men, generally. So atantritaha means without being bored by it, without any boredom. Continuously you do it. The previous one we saw was aviratam, continuously without break. Here atantritaha means without getting bored or tired of it. Without getting tired of it. Dukkha pratikaram. Now, when leading this life this way, dukkha tantreshu, we saw because dukkha will happen, creating sufferings and miseries and all that. So when they happen, obviously, we try to solve those difficulties, isn't it? So that is dukkha pratikaram, solving the miseries and sufferings that happen now and then, or whenever they happen. Kurvanne, so doing that action of solving it. Dukkha pratikaram kurvanne, solving the difficulties and miseries that happen whenever they happen. Or doing all this, sukhavatu manyate. All these are really blissful and they are all very happy. So this is what manyate, he thinks. This is what the life of a grihasthan today is, isn't it? In one way, basically attached to women, attached to money, attached to children, attached to possessions, attached to house. So in order to take care of them, I got to do so many things, right? And in that process, I spoil my own health, and in other words, spoil my own mental peace. And not only that, because of the selfishness and attachment, I'm also creating difficulties, right? And also trying to solve the difficulties and the challenges that come in life. And leading a life like this, I think, oh my God, this is beautiful. This is very good. Happy sukham. This is what manyate. Recall the anecdote about the pig that we shared, I think, last session. And there I wanted to share one more thing also. When Bhagavan Narayana sent Narada to talk to Indra, tell him, hey, listen, that Indra doesn't realize, but he's now there as a father pig in the family of pigs there, living in gutter and splashing around. Go and tell him that he's leading this pig's life. He must really come back to where he belongs. And what does that father pig says? I may be Indra, but I really don't know. I'm very happy here. Now, it is not supposed to be humorous. What it is me and it is you that the message is given by Bhagavan. Each one of us is amrutasya putraha. We are all children of immortality. My house is in Vaikuntham. Your house, your home. My home is in Vaikuntham. Your home is in Vaikuntham. That is where I belong. But like this father pig in this anecdote, in the story, I'm enjoying myself, being splashing around in this gutter of samsaram, dealing with my family and friends and doing all these possessive things and splashing around and thinking I'm happy. This is the meaning of the 4 slokams. Let's take up the next one. Slokam number 10. Arthaihi apaditaihi gurvyam himsaya itaha tataha cha tane pushnati yesham poshena. Sesha book, very important. This Sesha book, Yati Adaha Swayam. Let me read it again so we can understand the Padangal better. Arthaihi Apaditaihi Gurvya Himsaya Itaha Tataha Cha Tane Pushnati Yesham Poshena Seshabhuk Yati Adaha Swayam. Now, Seshabhuk is a very important word. I mean, this is exactly what happens to, I'm sure, each one of us. So let's go to the slogan again, and then we'll take up the meaning. So overall meaning I'll give you, and then we'll recite the slokam once more and give the pada appendix. Now we are at slokam 10. Now, in my life, I do lots of injustices. I harm others. I earn wealth from here and there to support my family and bring so much responsibility. Remember the story about that living monkey thing I told you? So much responsibility. I do all this in order to support the family. Doing all this, what do I eat? I eat sometimes whatever is left over after everybody else has eaten, isn't it? And so this is the basic meaning of this. The interesting thing is that you spend the whole life, in order to take care of things that I'm attached to. I should do it as service, but I must be attached only to Bhagavan. But I'm not attaching myself to Bhagavan. So I'm spending my whole life in these false attachments. That's a message from all this. Atairapaditain gurvya himsayetas tataschatan pushnati yesham poshena seshabhuk yat yadattvayam itaha tataha cha, here and there. Gurvya himsaya, tremendous himsaya, difficulties. Okay? Earning a livelihood is not easy. Whether you do physical work or go into office and work, whatever we do, the pressure is there, morning to night, and weekends and this and that, we know that in our life. Right? So, Gurvaya himsaya, with tremendous difficulties. Himsa means something that is harmful. That difficulties. Apaditaihi arthaihi, earned, arthaihi, wealth. So here and there, with great difficulty, earned the wealth that has been earned, with the wealth that has been earned here by great difficulties, okay? And here and there, means wherever it is possible. We have come here from our home, whether it's India and it's working in America, whatever it may be, isn't it? So, yesham poshena, with this wealth, yesham poshena, whom I am protecting. Not only my bandhuhu, not only my relatives, not only my spouse, not only my children, but the house that I'm attached to, the wealth that I'm attached to in the bank, the car I'm attached to, whatever it may be, right? In order to protect all this, I go through tremendous difficulties, earn wealth with great difficulty in order to poshika. The posha means to protect, to maintain all these. Swayam, doing all this, Swayam himself, what happens to him? Seshabhuk. That means, see, Sesha means whatever is remaining, residue. Book means enjoying, not only food. Okay, Sesha book, one meaning is whatever food is left, he gets it. Okay. But also, after earning all the money and wealth and in order to take care of all these people, where is this person's allotment of that money, whatever is left behind after taking care of the children's education, marriage, this, that, so many things. Whatever is left, what is for him, even though he's worked so hard. And all this ataha yadhi, this ataha, this adaha yadhi, adaha yati. Adaha means to go down. Yati means to travel. But going down, what does it mean? Adogadi, we say in Tamil, oh my God, what a miserable misery for him. That is what he is attaining in this grahasthan life. But doing all this, what does he do? Tan ushnati. He praises all the things, all the people and the objects that for which he is working and basically giving up his own life. Hey, I have this big car, I have this big house, my child did this. But Tan Pushnati, he's praising them, even though Sesha book Adaha Yati, after working so hard, whatever is left is what he is actually getting. But even that, okay, with having been delegated to this kind of a state, he still praises all the things he's attached to. This is adhokati, mudaha, because of false attachment. Atairapaditair gurvya himsayetas tataschatan pushnati yesham poshena seshabhuktyat svayam. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Santit Santit Santihi. Harihi Om.